Hey guys, Marsingan here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to be looking at the STR EZA Goku. We already did the showcase for the Vegeta. Now, unfortunately, this is not a max links showcase. As you can see, a couple of these links not fully finished, but with everything going on my recording schedule and stuff at the moment, now's the time we have to get the showcase done. So, Golden Z Fighter is one of his links that very few units have, but isn't fully built up yet. It's just key and a crit chance, so it's not really the end of the world. He does share it with the Vegeta, who actually is one of his best link partners. And then Supreme Power, we would get an extra 1% attack and defense. So it's not the biggest loss in the world, but there you go. So the big thing about this Goku is immediately in comparison, a lot of people consider him to be worse than the Vegeta. So if we take a look at what he does, supreme damage to the enemy, raises allies attack by 30% for 2 turns. So 30% attack for 2 turns, that's pretty good considering the fact that he's giving a support buff to the next rotation. And then he gets attack and defense 120, attack 30 and defense 20 per key sphere obtained. Chance of performing a crit 10% at the start of each turn up to 30%. And then changes physical orbs to STR when there is an ally whose name includes Vegeta attacking in the same turn. So basically very similar kit to Vegeta, but he builds up crit chance. So he's not going to be as good defensively because obviously he doesn't have that dodge. But he's definitely still going to be pretty good. Now, the one thing that I think comes to mind straight away when people are like comparing the two is the fact that Vegeta obviously has a 200% team already, whereas Goku does not have one even on JP, right? So we can get 11 orbs here, that's pretty good. We've got every link active except all in the family and Z fighters, and we're looking at 200 and was that 31k, and then 700. We won't see the attack. What am I talking about? We've got no support on the rotation, so let's have a look. We got what, 7 orbs with Vegeta. So obviously Vegeta, as you can see, much more defense. He's got a couple of extra links active. He probably is getting some extra defense, to be fair. But let's go ahead and see what we get out of this Goku here. 4.5 for the first turn with no support. I mean, that is pretty good. He even gets his level 3 dodge. There you go. Actually, I don't know how much dodge I gave this guy, because he's kind of similar to the Int Vegito that I was talking about in the earlier video that I put out today. Because he builds up crit chance, you don't really need to give him a huge amount of crit in the hidden potential system, I would say. So obviously you're going to ideally want him to have dodge and additional, I think, is probably his best build. So let's go ahead, and we know we're going to change the physical orbs, so let's try and keep those around here for the Goku. So we'll go ahead and grab these. Obviously not going to be the best turn for everyone else. We've got a full AGL rotation, so Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta taking the Super in slot 1 is probably the best case scenario, actually, considering Super Saiyan 2 Angel Goku in slot 3. I believe he gets a decent amount of defense on super attack, so since he's not even super attacking, probably good that we're not taking the super on him in the final slot. But the 2 Vegetas here obviously gonna have their time and go off and get multiple attacks here, multiple additional attacks. Some of them will be supers, some of them won't. The transformed blue Vegeta here actually getting the super off of his 2nd additional attacks. That is pretty good, including the crit. So we are done with this phase. I thought I'd bring that Super Saiyan 2 Angel Goku because he's an orb changer as well. So even though he's not providing direct support, he can obviously be quite helpful. Now Goku getting locked in the middle is kind of funny because that's probably where I would have put him anyway, right? Because, well, actually, yeah, of course. I was going to say, I wonder if he shares any links with this Goku. Well, he would, like Z Fighters and All in the Family, except they're both base form Goku. So, no, we don't actually share any links with him. So let's go ahead and grab these, and then this should drop down these ones, so we can get 8 orbs. Now, whilst we're not getting the links, we are getting the support from the version Z Goku, at least. So we're looking at 200k defense. We didn't pick up a huge amount of orbs, but that is pretty realistic for a usual turn. We don't have an extra orb changer or anything like that. So Vegeta at 4 million, and then Goku at 4 million. So honestly, they are quite evenly matched on a, the same leader skill team. In terms of offense, Vegeta I think is a little bit better defensively overall, especially because of the dodge rather than the crit chance. which obviously, you know, as we all know, is the reason why so many of us give units 3 dodge, is a timely dodge can save you from losing an event, whereas Goku in slot 1 with his full crit chance built up is not going to save you from getting killed by a super attack. So Vegeta definitely better defensively, and obviously, like I said at the start, on both Global and JP, because of the release of the Martian Vegeta for Saiyan Day, the Int Vegeta has access to a 200% leader skill on both versions, whereas obviously the Goku does not have access to a 200% leader at all, as far as I'm aware currently. Pretty sure I'm not getting that wrong. None of the 200% teams that are out on JP that we don't have on Global give Goku the 200% lead. So does he get any extra links from this Goku? That's what I want to see here. So he does get all in the family, which I believe is a defensive link. Yeah, 20% extra defense, which is pretty huge. Like, if you can consistently get him with a unit that has all in the family, that's a huge jump in his defense. But the problem is obviously to be working at his best, you want a Vegeta on the rotation, because that's how he gets his orb changing, which is not necessarily something that he has to have, right? Otherwise, you know, you can't use him. You could run him without a Vegeta if you really wanted to. The only problem is if you then get bad RNG or you haven't brought other orb changes with you, then, you know, as a nuking style unit, not being able to pick up a lot of orbs is going to be a detriment to him. But just as a reminder, if we look at the Vegeta, whilst he is getting the same amount of defense per orb, it's 30% attack, 20% defense. I'm sure we picked up less orbs with Vegeta, and their defenses are the same. Now, I don't know if did Goku get defense lowered? No, he didn't, I don't think, anyway. So, Vegeta definitely the stronger defensively of the two, and like it or not, obviously the meta of Dokkan has been for quite a while quite defensively based, especially with, you know, the most difficult events, disabling dodge, or, you know, events like the red zone where certain units will just die to a super attack. I mean, the red zone is not the best place to rate units really, because even on JP, if you look at like every single unit available in the game, what is the like 1% of units are good in the red zone? I don't think that's an exaggeration, considering the game has what, like well over 1,000 units, so 1% is like 10. So actually, that probably is a bit of an understatement. Maybe like 5%, let's say. 5% of the units in the game are actually good in the red zone. So, you know, we can't rate a unit's performance solely by how well they will perform there. But obviously, that is something that we should take into account a little bit when thinking about how good these units are. Because Vegeta, after his showcase, now bear in mind, his showcase was on a 200% team. So you kind of want to take the numbers from this video to be a little bit more relevant when discussing this. But Vegeta, I would be perfectly comfortable running in the red zone. Now, obviously, if I was trying to beat the red zone for the first time and not just do showcases or something, I would probably want to run a 200% team if possible. So the fact that Vegeta has access to one is obviously a huge advantage. But I would definitely feel comfortable running Vegeta in the red zone. I don't know if I would say the same thing about the Goku, to be honest. But let's see. We're not going to get any extra links from this other Vegeta, so we could probably get a decent amount of orbs to drop down if we do this. What? Did I bring an orb changing item? What does this one do? Blue to red. That's only really going to give us this one in the middle, although it is going to let us pick up the one on the right as well, so I'll just use it. That's at least going to get us to 11 orbs. So 11 orbs picked up. His defense is 231. But see, again, Vegeta, remember, Vegeta raises attack and defense for 3 turns on super attack, whereas Goku raises attack only, but also for all allies, which is the interesting difference, right? Goku is actually providing attack support to everybody else, whereas Vegeta is getting defense on super attack. So that's why Vegeta looks so much better defensively. I'd completely forgotten about his super attack earlier in the video. So, yeah, Vegeta's always going to be better defensively. So, when it comes to new red zone stages coming out, you know, I mean, we don't even have the red zone yet, but new red zone stages coming out, new Super Battle Road stages and extreme Super Battle Road stages, like Goku doing a bit more damage and helping other people on the team to do a bit more damage is good, but that's not going to save you in some of these events. Like, I see people on Twitter a lot, like, there's like people who suck off defense too much, and then people who disregard defense too much. Like, a lot of the arguments you'll see against 3 dodge is that if you just put that extra skill thing into crit, then an extra crit could help you beat the event before you were going to get super attacked in the first place. But, like, when you go into the red zone against, like, Omega or Broly, 1 extra crit is not going to end that fight, like, a whole turn earlier. Except for, like, you know, the final attack, right? If you're getting supered on turn 1, 2, or 3, no extra crit is going to have helped you beat that event in the first, like, 2 turns. Unless we're talking, like, the anniversary LRs, obviously, and they're getting, like, triple supers with crits, because then, of course, those units are absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, defense is very important for these future difficult events. So Goku doing a little bit of extra damage and buffing everybody else's damage is obviously going to be nice, and unarguably, I'm not going to bother getting these, unarguably will help you beat the event slightly faster. But in turn 1 or 2, like, who do you want to get hit with a super? Ideally, neither of them, to be honest. But who do you want to get hit with a super, Goku or Vegeta? Vegeta is going to have much higher defense, and then, of course, he is going to have that dodge chance when he's built up as well. So, I think it's probably a bit of a stretch to say that Goku is significantly worse than Vegeta. But Vegeta's just better defensively, which I think nowadays with the current meta is, like, really where it counts, right? Like, if a unit is only going to be good offensively or defensively, then it has to be defensively, right? Like, we see units like Tech LR Broly, for example. Tech LR Broly, whilst his attack stats are getting a little bit low to compare to current LRs, he still puts out a reasonable amount of damage, but you can't take him into difficult content because he's got no defense. And this right here is a pretty good example, because there's Vegeta with his dodge chance fully built up. He dodged the super attack from Gogeta in slot 1, and now Goku's able to come in and do the damage. So this example is not necessarily the best, because if Gogeta super attacked Goku here, he does have type advantage, so he probably would tank it reasonably well. But that turn pretty much illustrates my point, right? Like, if this was the red zone against Omega, Vegeta just dodged that super attack, whereas Goku in slot 1, unless we'd gotten the level 3 dodge, we would be dead. Because obviously, you know, well, Goku doesn't even get defense on super, actually, so it doesn't even matter if he super attacks first. So let's see this incredibly I've got my skip. I was going to say this incredibly rare active skill. It's the KO screen that is the more rare, because it doesn't really do any damage. But I always forget, I've been link leveling, so I've got these turned off. When I'm showcasing a unit that doesn't have an active skill, I never remember to turn the skip off beforehand, whereas if the unit does actually have one, I do try to remember to turn off the skip. But you know how it is, I do be link leveling pretty much non-stop with my spare time. So we'll get one final turn here against Gogeta, as this is the final phase. We potentially will even finish it off next turn, because even if the Vegetas go off here, we're probably not going to end it this turn. We should be okay after this super, considering the defense raise that the blue Vegeta gets. Yeah, 30k. It's not too bad at all. And then GT Vegeta, his defense will be okay on this team, like on this setup. We got no support, but Gogeta's already super attacked, so we're not really in any danger of dying here. I wonder how much damage we actually take, because after supering is obviously not so bad. Yeah, it is double digits. Okay, very good. Alright, so this will be the last turn for Goku. I don't know if we'll get any more. I don't think there were many AGL orbs on the field. I guess I could use that last orb changing item if it is going to help. But yeah, I mean, Goku, honestly, I went into the start of this recording. I'll probably change the title to what I was originally going to call it. Although maybe I won't, just because it'll be funny, right? Because this is one of those rare occasions where these two units come out together and the Vegeta unit is actually better than the Goku, which doesn't happen that often. Even though it's not massively different, I would say. Like, as I've explained, Vegeta's better defensively, which I think is more important in the current meta, but Goku is definitely not bad. So it's not like the Vegeta absolutely dwarfs the Goku's performance, but I think the Vegeta certainly is better. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. We were able to get a lot of orbs here, but obviously this is with the orb changing item, which you're not going to be taking into difficult content, but it's fun to use sometimes. The Super Saiyan 2 Goku helping out there, because obviously created those AGL orbs that we were then able to change. So 5 million, I mean, obviously for like a top tier EZA TUR, we would expect them to hit an attack stat like that with a bit of support, not with like, you know, being a nuker that picked up, what was it, 13 orbs. So let me know what you guys think down below. I mean, the Goku's definitely not terrible, he's not crazy. I can't imagine him fitting into a lot of great teams. Like, the fact that the Vegeta has access to a 200% leader skill team, I feel like it makes it so that he will see some use. But even then, that team is very stacked with like solid options. So I don't really know if you would use either of these two units all that much. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store. And I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.